back to an episode on the big move. We are going to take you guys through a bit more of what our plans are and what's kind of gotten us to this point where we are today. Sorry for the background noises and stuff. We are actually on a farm, so we're staying at Stretch Family Farm at the moment, which is in Queensland, so we are extremely late with so what you guys are going to see today is the beginning of
a little series.
Yeah, basically our big move. What you would have seen last was us moving out back in July. It was July, wasn't it? End of July we sold our house.
Yeah, 14th of July.
And then we camped out on our friend's front lawn for 2 months or so.
7-8 weeks, yeah. We just had a few some working things we were doing for work, and that we had to stay around in Melbourne.
Brett was putting in basically an entire battery system in the rig that you guys can see in the back here for his dad. This isn't our car, so
no, we're just
borrowing it. Yeah. We had a few different plans. Originally we thought that we were going to have to try and buy a new car in between selling our house and going, just to be able to tow our caravan, which we will take you through in a minute. Then we had a few more talks about it with family and everything, and then Brett's dad was gracious enough to actually lend us this truck so that we didn't have to rush out and try and buy in a really high market.
Yeah, well, we started looking at like Land Cruisers and things like that, and the prices were just ridiculous. So rather than buying something in a high, once we sort of get to where we're going, which we'll explain in a minute, we don't necessarily need it. The cars we already have will suffice for what we need. So this worked out well. I did some work for Dad, and in return he's lending us the truck to get our caravan to where we need to get to, which is good. And it's a good truck to do this trip with anyway.
So we're not doing a round Australia trip or anything like that, like most people are at the moment. We had probably about 5 years ago thought about, I have been hounding Brett for years to move, and I've always wanted to move to far north Queensland, and basically this is it. We're doing it. We're finally doing it. We've had some job opportunities, we've had land opportunities, so that's basically what we're doing. Yep.
And we've got some family up that direction as well, which made it a little bit easier. But work, potential opportunity to get some land up there and possibly build if we like it. At the moment we're just gonna live in our caravan for a year or two and just enjoy it, be mortgage free, and just have a bit of fun with life.
Our biggest plan is probably not to have a plan.
Yeah, just wing it.
We're happy to wing it. We're happy to have no mortgage for a while, and just enjoy life while we can, especially with Lila being so young.
Yeah.
We just want to be able to enjoy her, and we want to be able to soak up some sun. We're coming from Melbourne, so
not much sun down there.
The last 2 years have been pretty tough on us, and then you add in the terrible weather all the time.
Yeah.
We'd had enough.
That's it.
Basically.
Yeah. I think it'll be a good, just be a good change. Just have a bit of fun with it for it all, and if we don't necessarily love it, then we can always move back. So we don't really have much to lose, just what we can gain, which will be a good experience. So that's the plan. Yeah. So with the van, we actually purchased this. Was it before we put the house on the market?
Yes. Yep. We had to.
Just.
So we bought the caravan just before we put the house. No, we had the house on the market, I think, but maybe not. It definitely wasn't sold yet.
No.
And we were lucky enough that we were able to store the caravan at a friend's place until we had sold the house, because where we lived was just a normal residential house and we did end up taking the caravan back to our place for about just under a week, I think it was, just before we sold, just to get everything in it, because obviously we were selling our house, so we had to put things inside in the van that we could then live in. So that was a bit of a juggling act as well.
Plus we still had the Jayco at the time.
That's true, yeah.
The Jayco Freedom was still in the spot next to the driveway, so we couldn't have both caravans, and we had to sell the Jayco.
It was sad to see the Jayco go, because we did
a lot of work to it.
We had that Jayco just right at the beginning of COVID, and the reason we bought it was actually because we were having Lila, and we knew that it would be easier to have a caravan than we actually couldn't do it in our original
high ace.
We had a high ace van before that even, but it didn't have seats for Lila. It was only a 2-seater and a bed, and that was it. It was very, very basic.
And the van was just a little bit bigger. It just gave us more opportunity.
The caravan.
A bit more comfortable, I should say, yeah.
Yeah, the caravan then allowed us to put in a little cot for her in there, and just be a bit more comfy with a newborn.
Yeah.
We literally took that out when she was 9 weeks old. That's how young she was that we were able to go out. And so that served us well. But then when we decided that we were going to move and that we weren't going to necessarily build straight away, we knew that we needed something much bigger, much more self-contained, all that sort of thing. So that's what led us to buying this, which is a Paramount Signature
2020 Paramount Signature Series, 22.6 foot. Yeah. So it's quite a big van, but because we're going to be living in it, not necessarily just towing it around, it was comfortable. It's roomy, it's comfortable, it's got bunks, it's got full ensuite, washing machine. That's all we need. So
the washing machine was kind of my
biggest thing.
My biggest pick.
Yeah.
It's like 4.5 kilo washing machine. So for a caravan, that's
a good
huge.
Size.
It's huge. So and it's you can do all different cycles, which is lovely. So being able to just do like a 15-minute cycle. I've never had a front loader. This is a front loader.
Yeah.
And so just being able to do a 15-minute load. Yeah, so because we knew we would be just lounging around and not really doing anything too much, it's great just having that small cycle.
Yeah.
We have done some big loads in it though, which has been good.
Yeah. Don't have a dryer, but now
the dryer, oh my God. Living in Melbourne during winter.
No dryer.
Oh, that was hard.
Yeah.
That was probably the hardest thing, I reckon.
There's just not really many places to hang the washing out. It was just cold, so that was tough. But we managed, and now we're up in the warm weather. It's not really that big of an issue. Everything dries pretty quick, so
yeah. So far. So we got a Cloud9 bed, which is just under a queen length. It's queen width, but just being a caravan, it's a little bit shorter. What size? How tall are you? You're about 6 foot, like just on 6 foot, I think. Yeah. So and you fit in there comfortable.
Yeah, I think it's 1900 long instead of 2 meters long, so it's only 100 mil shorter, which we're not super tall, so it's fine for us. And that's been comfy as. We were a bit like we had a sleeping duck at home, and we're like, oh, the last caravan, the mattress wasn't very comfortable.
We were considering that if we didn't like the Cloud9, then we possibly put our sleeping duck in, but it probably wouldn't fit it anyway.
Nah.
And it was a heck of a lot heavier.
Yeah, the weights as well, which with a van this size, that's a big thing you got to consider is all the weight you put in. Which
it is a north-south facing bed as well. Yep. So we can walk around it comfortably, all that sort of thing. We have a little bit of hanging storage either side with a nice little bench on either side, which we put our morning coffees on every morning and our drink bottles for the night, which is nice.
Yeah, well, we'll give you a bit of a tour anyway. We're not going to walk through every single step and point about the van.
No, a van is pretty much a van, and you know,
I won't bore you to death with every little detail. They're all sort of similar, but we'll give you a bit of a run through.
So what have you found most handy in this caravan that you'd want in another caravan?
Ensuite, where our last van didn't have an ensuite.
It's a full ensuite.
Yeah. Washing machine wouldn't, if it was a weekender, you wouldn't necessarily need a washing machine, but ensuite is handy, especially with a child. The bunks over having the cot.
We've only got a double bunk, not 3.
But we use the top bunk for storage and bits and pieces. Which is good, so that's handy. We've got a queen bed instead of the last van was a double. But
we are even looking at the southeast bed, not southeast. East-west bed. If we get a weekender caravan, because this van is going to be parked up. So our needs for this van originally were definitely like mini home or like tiny home kind of needs, rather than living on the road.
Yeah.
That's what makes it a bit different.
Yeah.
But having said that, because we're having to do this trip up to far north Queensland, it still needed to be functionable enough as a caravan as well.
Yeah.
So when we found, first of all, we needed the double bunks,
Ensuite.
and the ensuite, just so that we had the freedom, especially up here, like going up, to be able to go anywhere we wanted.
Yeah.
But then when we were on the block as well,
Be comfortable.
we obviously need it there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But yeah, so
The shower's so good, like it's a good size.
yeah, it's a pretty good size. It's very livable. If we're sort of looking at possibly getting another smaller van like our Freedom, but if we could get something with an ensuite and bunks, but just not 22'6", but
Yeah, obviously a lot smaller.
17 to 19 foot with those sorts of things, we're happy to.
So yeah, we wouldn't compromise on a. We'd go a combo for a weekender.
Yeah, a combo like a shower on toilet combo, that would be fine for a weekender.
But if you were to travel,
Yeah,
full
to travel.
time,
Yeah.
just go.
Worst case, if we change our mind and we do decide to travel full time, this van would be wicked to do it in.
It would be, but
Yeah.
we also have said though it is a very big van to get into places, and you're restricted. You are slightly restricted. It's the end of the day, like it's a big van.
Yeah.
But
Still,
we have a dog anyway, so we're restricted in that sense as well. So, but don't let those restrictions stop you from getting what you need either.
there's still plenty of people travelling in 23-foot vans
Yeah.
and doing it. So you just got to be, I suppose you just got to be book in advance and speak to, if you stay in caravan parks, just ring up and tell them what size your van is, and tell them, we stayed at one in New South Wales, you'll see, and we rang up and they left a site behind free, and they booked it just so we could drive through, so we didn't have to try and reverse the big van, which made it a lot easier.
Yeah, but we still couldn't even do that idea in the end anyway.
Had
because
trees overhanging and
yeah,
stuff.
there was
but
other trees.
the idea behind it was good. So
Yeah.
if you're going like if it's busy time, school holidays, you might be struggling, but yeah.
But then you might just have to book more.
Yeah.
Whereas like some people like to just travel and
Wing
be
it kind of thing.
a bit more free with their
Yeah.
bookings. But if you've got something this big, you kind of have to be a little bit more planned.
Yeah, that's right. But there's still plenty of places. We've found some great free camps
Sorry.
and like these farm stays, but there's plenty of room. It doesn't really restrict you too much. So
Anyway, we're getting completely off the point. We've got Cruise Master suspension.
yeah, it's got a Cruise Master XT suspension, so the independent coil suspension. So not that we really need it, but we're thinking ahead that if we do sell it in a few years, resale. That was the biggest thing with the caravans being so expensive at the moment, was just we're paying a high. It's not a brand new caravan. We bought
it was only 2 years old.
year and a half.
Year and a half, yeah.
It was in
So
good condition. But
amazing condition.
we figured it's off-road, it's Cruise Master, it's good size, ensuite, all the boxes ticked for what people want. So,
Cruise Master,
yeah, Cruise Master suspension,
ensuite.
ensuite bunks, washing machine, big payload. It can go up to 3.7 tonne. We have it at 3.5 just because that's what the truck can tow. But you can go up to 3.7 if you had a vehicle that could tow that much. So
that was the other thing too,
Yeah,
is
large
what
payload.
we originally, the car that we were originally looking at buying obviously had restrictions around weight.
Weights, yeah.
So we were then trying to find a van that fit with that as well.
yeah. But we have it at 3.5 tonne now, and we have everything we need in it, and we still
And we probably have more than
What we
really
need.
what we need. Like
Yeah.
if you were travelling, you wouldn't have
No.
half of the crap we have.
we still have china mugs and plates and
Yeah,
bowls.
we are
Not
travelling,
a lot,
yeah.
but just a few. Just because we're going to be living in it, we still want it to be comfortable.
We probably have more than enough too in terms of ceramic.
Yeah. But if you were travelling, you would get those bamboo ones or something like that
Yeah,
that are lighter.
we
We
have
could
got
still
some.
get rid of a lot more weight if we had to, but it works. We can have all our water, gas, works. So, yeah.
Our fridge is a 3-way fridge.
3-way fridge. We're not sure how that's going to go once we get up there.
Yeah.
Hotter days, you notice the temperatures do climb during the day. We've got this fan kit on the outside vent.
We had the 3-way in the Jayco and we noticed a huge issues with that
Yeah.
in the Jayco, so that's why we're now aware of those issues.
It was 20 years old though too, so yeah, this one works a lot better. But now we're getting into the hotter climates. We've noticed we'll see.
It
how
doesn't
goes.
go down like as far as it could. Like when we were in Victoria, it was like we had it on a low setting, and it would get down to like 1 degree, and it would stay there, and it would be easy, like in and out, fine.
Yeah.
But now that we're in the hotter climate, it's a bit more like you've got to go in, get what you need, and get out and close it again.
That's fine. We're already looking at a fan kit to go on the fins inside the fridge that helps circulate the air a lot better, which I think will help. And then worst case, if we have to upgrade to a 12-volt compressor fridge, we'll look at that down the track.
Yeah,
But now
there's
we're not going
options.
to worry about it. It's fine. Everything else works really good. I haven't had too many issues. Oh, we have had a couple of issues. We have
had issues actually.
It's got a drinking water filter system, and that leaked. That leaked water all under the cupboard.
It's leaked quite a few times until we finally, hopefully, have figured it out now.
We replaced the filter, which was $100, and then it still leaked. And then I made a little adjustment underneath it and put a stop tap so we could isolate that and didn't have to turn the whole van off every time it leaked. And then that was good.
That it was more so like that we didn't have any more leaks as well.
But we had to leave it off in that process. I contacted the company because it's secondhand. There's no warranty on it anymore. I contacted the company, and they actually sent me out a different filter, a different brand of filter that would still fit their connection system.
Which was a household filter.
Household filter, same thing. It's the same thing though. It's just a little bit bigger, completely free, and it hasn't leaked. It's been fine.
Yeah, it's been really good.
So that's all sorted now. And then the washing machine not itself didn't leak, but where the connection screws onto the tap behind the cupboard, it was in the worst spot to get to try and turn it off. But it was leaking water, so I had to try and pull the washing machine out, soak up the water. It was just a pain in the ass of a spot.
I noticed that in the middle of the night as well.
Yeah,
that was interesting. That was really interesting.
We Teflon taped it up, put it all back up. It hasn't leaked since. Other than that, everything's been fine. It's got lots of extras put into it, which is what we also like. It's got the Sirocco fans, USB points everywhere.
The only thing though is there's no USB points in like the kitchen area.
No.
Which would be really handy.
We did add that though.
Pardon?
We did add that.
Oh yeah, we've added. We added one into like there's like a media area, kind of cupboard that
behind
everyone would have.
Yeah, behind the TV, because we have
got a TV
Nighthawk M6 modem for our internet. So that just plugs into USB, and that's powered there. And charge our phone or GoPro batteries or whatever we want to charge. But there's ones beside the beds, one in the kids' bunks, one under the table.
They're all double adapter ones, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all doubles, yep.
So it's not just one USB, it's like two.
Yeah,
it's
so there's plenty. But it's just that one near the kitchen area there wasn't any, so we added that. That was an easy thing. We changed the batteries. They had two AGM batteries. I don't know, even though they're only a year and a half old, they weren't working that great. You get through the night and the morning, it was, pretty much dead. So we already had a lithium battery at home. I put it into that and got rid of the two heavy batteries, which saved us on weight. I think the lithium batteries, 30 kilos. The ones we pulled out were 60.
The reason we were able to do that though too was because of the charger was lithium compatible as well. It's projector.
Yeah.
See, I've learnt all of this along the way.
Same here. The system in it was a projector management system, and it has dip switches to change it from AGM gel, and has lithium settings. So we didn't have to change the 240 solar charger or any of that, which was good. Saved us a lot of money. Just put our battery in, away we go, which was good.
So yeah, at least that solved a bit of a weight issue. Oh, not an issue, but like it
helped.
Was
it helped. Gained 30 kilos, and we have more than double the capacity of what the other two batteries had. So it was a massive win. And I would have done it anyway. I haven't really done too much else. Once you sort of see inside, it's pretty good the way it is. Like it's pretty comfortable. Plenty of bench space, the seating.
The original owners got rid of the pantry like it was like a slide out pantry apparently, which has given us extra bench space, which is a godsend. Yeah,
so we gained about, I think it was a foot, about 300 mil of bench space, which is more important from living in. There's still plenty of cupboards in there for pantry stuff,
Yeah.
You don't
more than
need the
enough,
slide
yeah,
out pantry. I think it was
absolutely.
floor to ceiling, which I think is, I think it's a bit overkill. But anyway, they've made a good decision with that, removing that. And then outside under the awning, it's got a full annex the whole way around. That was another selling point of why we liked it. So once we are up there and set up, we can basically have all the awning annex walls out. It's got windows, doors, and it basically gives us a whole nother room. Doubles our sort of size nearly.
Yeah, it just is
yeah.
a lot of weight. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
So like, it's not ideal for travel.
I don't think you'd.
But we
use
don't
it.
have. Do we have them in?
Yeah, they're in the truck.
Oh yeah, we do have them.
I've got them on
we've
board.
got them in the truck though, not in the caravan.
Yeah, no, they're not in the caravan because it's sort of heavy canvas. I just put them in the truck. But if you're travelling full time, you probably wouldn't use them. But for what living in it permanently, yeah, I think we'll have it set up all the time, and it'll be just an extra room for either storage and Lila to play around in and just whatever. So, you know, I think the original owner said it was an extra $5,000 to have it. So I see good value in it, and I think it'll just make it more comfortable.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yep. That's about all we can probably say.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to leave because you guys aren't gonna be able to hear us anyway.
Yeah.
Just one quick thing. So we've added some little bits and pieces. Like I struggled with the amount of bench space in the ensuite. Being a girl, you have makeup and you have all your bits and pieces. So, not that it's exclusive to women either though, but because I have glasses, I didn't have somewhere to put my glasses as well as all of the other stuff. So I went and searched, and I actually found these little, like, it's like a suction cap thing, but it's not. And you put your glasses in it. So I just got that on the mirror. So I've got my glasses hanging up there, and I've got all more bench space that way, which was really handy, I thought. And
in the shower as well.
In the shower as well.
Little mirror.
He didn't want to put whiskers all over the basin, so I said, oh, well, there's this as well. You can literally, from the same company, you can get a shower mirror.
Yeah.
So
and then we
he does that inside in the shower.
The towel rail and the hooks and things.
Yeah.
To the what are they called? The suction cup things you get from
the fusion lock.
Fusion locks. That's it. Everyone sort of has those in their van these days, and none of them fallen off. They've been good. So run fusion locks in the ensuite and the shower. But yeah, other than that,
it's got good storage. I think that's a massive thing as well for us, was storage, because we knew we would be living and moving in it. So, and because Brett's going to be working, he's still got to have work clothes at the end of the day as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're totally getting off topic now. So thank you guys again for watching. Make sure to see the rest of what has just been behind us in terms of where we've been to get to this point. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
See ya.